Well, we've just come off air live in Coventry. It was certainly an eventful night here in the West Midlands. Dave Bradshaw here alongside RevPro owner and booker Andy Quildan. Andy, first thing we've got to talk about is we've had a match scheduled tonight between Charles Samuels and Joshua James. Unfortunately, Joshua James suffered an injury on his way into the ring. The match couldn't take place. Do you have any updates on his condition?
Well, it's still early days. So with an injury like that, it's you've kind of got to wait till the swelling goes down until you can get further assessment, really. Early indications look good, and I guess tomorrow morning he's going to have to go and get checked out, get some MRIs, all that stuff. But it's a knee which is injured.
Seemed to jar his knee as he entered the rings.
He jumped off the ropes there, so it's just crazy. You know, like, look, first and foremost, our thoughts go to Josh James at this time. And again, you can say what you like. It's you know, what we got to remember is, behind all these personalities and these grudges and these rivalries, there are human beings, you know. So it doesn't matter if you cheer him or you boo him. I think behind that, we have to understand that he's a human being. And this is a tough time for him. You know, it's been a huge few months for Josh James. We saw him move away from Charles Samuels, assert himself as a force in his own right. And today, I think in his mind was an opportunity for him to validate the fact that he's everything that he's been saying he is since day one, and his opportunity to prove it one-on-one with Charles Samuels, who is also on the roll of his life. So it's gutting that we didn't get to see the match. I'm gutted for Josh that he didn't get you know, the opportunity to show the world what he's all about tonight, and that, you know, just as he's starting to find his feet and starting to you know, really show the world who he truly is, there's a bit of a setback on the way. How long that setback is, we don't know yet. We're trying to keep people updated about his condition, but obviously it goes without saying that you know, as soon as Josh James is good to compete, there's a place for him here in Rev Pro, and you know, we'll try and run that match with Charles Samuels back if it's possible, because obviously, you know, all the circumstances surrounding Shah at the moment. So yeah, it's a tough one, though.
All right, yeah, we'll get well soon, Joshua James. And let's turn our attention to the two featured matches that tonight in Coventry. First of all, the main event, which was this last man standing match, a much anticipated last man standing match between Jay Joshua and Zozaya, who've obviously been having problems that have been getting quite honestly out of hand over the past few weeks. And so last man standing seemed to be the way to resolve it. Jay Joshua ultimately winning after putting Zozaya through a table. What were your thoughts on our main event tonight?
It was an emphatic statement from Jay Joshua, wasn't it? I don't think that many people saw that coming. He had to go, well, both Jay Joshua and Zozaya went to places that we've not seen them go before. The sight of Jay Joshua being busted open, and then just the animal instinct kicking in, and the look on Zozaya's face when he saw that animal instinct kick in.
He couldn't quite believe he made Joshua bleed, right?
Yeah, and the fact that then Jay Joshua was up and standing and coming at him all guns blazing, you know, it's all those things. You know, I guess like the tagline going into that contest was, this isn't art, this is war. But it was artistic violence in the end, wasn't it? It was a very physical match, and it certainly stands Jay Joshua in good stead moving forwards. Of course, he's got his focuses on the Great British Tag League, but you know, with that big win over Zozaya, then surely you know, puts him in contention. And when we talk about the singles rankings as well, we know much like many young wrestlers in Revolution Pro Wrestling, Jay Joshua's got a bit of a chip on his shoulder. It's a competitive environment that we foster, and it's that competitive environment that brings out the best in professional wrestlers and gets the best results for the fans. But it also results in situations like we saw with Jay Joshua and Zozaya tonight, and it's a regretful part of the business, basically, because it was so physical. And like I say, Jay Joshua, one of the many wrestlers who've got that kind of, should we say, chip on their shoulder. You look at, you know, even Josh James and TK Cooper, you know, just a few examples there of wrestlers who they want it so bad, don't they? And then when you want something so bad, that's when crazy things happen.
Yeah, a lot of ill will, very stormy atmosphere at times tonight, despite the heat. It was hopefully we do have a thunderstorm in real life, but it felt like there was one erupting a couple of times tonight in the HMV Empire. we're looking ahead to 12 days from now, the Summer Sizzler in Wolverhampton, and our other featured match tonight was the finals of that #1 contender tournament. It was going to be a three-way match. Nina Samuel was unfortunately not medically cleared to compete, so it was Sapphire Reed in the end against Emerson Jane. Sapphire Reed got the win, surely the biggest win of her career, and as a result of that, coming up, the biggest opportunity of her career.
Yeah, that's right. Sapphire Reed, #1 contender to the Undisputed British Women's Championship. Of course, that championship currently held by the incomparable Mercedes Moné. We've spoken time and time again about the Moné match, you know, what it brings to a professional wrestler's career, the eyes of the wrestling world on that person for that night, and it's up to them if they can make the most of that opportunity. You know, I've said it before and I'll say it again, like I can't say enough good things about Mercedes Moné and what she's brought to the table as a professional wrestler, and I believe she's in a legacy defining run right now. I don't think there's many people in the professional wrestling industry who've got a body of work as impressive as Mercedes Moné's 2025, and really towards the tail end of 2024 as well. She's a world beater, and she brings the best out of her opponents as well. And I think that she's going to prove to be a huge test for Sapphire Reed. And Sapphire Reed seems to be someone who wants to be tested right now. She's someone who is trying to prove she can go without a Cutthroat Collective, and she certainly proved it tonight, didn't she, Dave? And she's going to be ready. She's going to be ready for Mercedes Moné. It was a great contest between herself and Emerson Jane, two stubborn professional wrestlers, two characteristic rule breakers, but I was pleasantly surprised with the way that both women entered the contest tonight and giving that undisputed British Women's Championship the respect it deserved, but not just the Undisputed British Women's Championship, just the opportunity to compete for the Undisputed British Women's Championship as well. And that tells you how much that championship means. So it was a great contest. And Sapphire Reed, when this tournament started, I don't think many people picked out Sapphire Reed as, you know, the winner of this thing, but she's made those minutes count. She's made the most of her opportunities, and she's going to look to go one step further than TK Cooper did in our men's version of the tournament, and she's going to look to hear those words and you.
So Summer Sizzler really starting to shape up now, as well as Mercedes Moné. We know is going to be there. Obviously, Los Tranquilos de Japón going to be there. We know it's Michael Oku against Ricky Knight Jr. for the Undisputed British Heavyweight Championship. This past week, it was announced a Block A match in the Great British Tag Team League as well. It's going to be the Grizzled Young Veterans against the Young Guns.
That's an important match as well, because we can't, you know, look, it's not documented enough, I don't believe, but we look at the Young Guns right now as a symbol of tag team excellence in the UK. They were trained by GYV, and GYV are one of the greatest teams, of course, former undisputed British tag team champions. And this is going to be their opportunity to kind of get back on the throne. So obviously, look, it's double jeopardy every time Young Guns compete, because obviously if GYV beat them, that sets up a tag team contest for later on. And also, obviously, there's the points the tag league brings as well. So teams have extra incentive, as if they needed extra incentive every time the Young Guns compete. You know, there's that extra incentive. But Young Guns, of course, got off to great guns last week at the 229, picking up the first 3 points of the Great British Tag League. And of course, that Great British Tag League continues in the hangar in Wolverhampton for there's going to be 2 tag league matches. There you go, another exclusive for you. So
another one to be announced.
Yeah, so yeah,
tell us now.
Do you want to know it now? Yeah, we're going to have Sons of Southampton and CPF.
It's our first Block B match.
Block B match taking part. We're going to see tag league matches across. I said we were going to discuss it more this week, but you know.
We have. I mean, you've given us an
So you're going to see matches across all the shows now. This is the only show which won't feature a tag league match, and potentially obviously our contender show as well at the Buckland Community Centre, the Buckland Dome, as I affectionately call it. But you're going to see tag league matches at all our shows now, through to the finals, which will take place at the 13th anniversary show. The finals, I think, will take place at night 1, but I'm not promising you that, because it could be either night. You know, we'll see what way the cards land, quite literally. But you know, you're gonna see tag league action in Germany. You'll see tag league action London, Southampton. You know, just it's a great time.
The whole road to the 13-year anniversary. Looking very excited with that great British tag league. Thanks for the exclusive on the tag league. But there is another thing I want to ask you about, because you hinted to me today during our commentary together that you might have some surprises for the people of Sheffield, because we're going to be in Sheffield on July 27th, 2 days after Summer Sizzler. You want to expand on that for us?
No,
Come on. It's just you and me.
go on then, and the 10 people that watch on the YouTube. Yeah, it's going to be a big show in Sheffield. We've said the tag league's going to carry on, and you see tag league action in all the shows between now and the anniversary shows. So we're going to see some tag league action. With GYV will be in tag league action in Sheffield. I don't want to reveal the match because I think it will then ruin the bracket. Not ruin the bracket. It will then announce. Because if I announce that, it will then, I think, inadvertently announce other matches. All right? Would that be the case?
Oh, because it would show which matches were left in the block. I see what you're saying. Yeah, okay.
So we've got GYV competing in the tag league.
Yep.
And we have got Naito and Bushi. Los Tranquilos de Japón will be coming to the network in Sheffield on Sunday, July 27th. So something to look forward to.
Sheffield Dome.
The Sheffield Dome, exactly. And look, this is one of those things, isn't it? Like I've said, like Sheffield has seen some fantastic shows. You know, I remember just some of the great matches we've had and some of the great stars that Sheffield has seen since we started running shows in network. But I do often hear people, you know, mutter saying, you know, we feel like we don't get any of the good stuff. We feel like we don't get any of the, you know, the big stars, so to speak. Well, July 27th, you're getting, you know, well, Tetsuya Naito is arguably the biggest star in Japan. You know, he's it'll be only his second match since leaving New Japan Pro Wrestling, and it will be taking place in Network Sheffield. So it's a huge deal. It really is. And of course, the first one is happening right here, Revolution Pro Wrestling as well, July 25th.
Summer Sizzler. Well, lastly, before I let you go, because we might both pass out from the heat in here, I think, in a minute. But you mentioned obviously the anniversary weekend, and as we're going more and more through this summer of Rev Pro, that feels like that weekend is kind of starting to begin to take shape. You got any more thoughts on how that's looking now?
Lots of thoughts. It's looking good, isn't it? Of course it's looking good. We're talking to our international partners. We've got some exciting things lined up. We've discussed some exciting ideas. We had a kayfabe guest at the British J Cup that doesn't seem to have been referenced anywhere. No one saw that person. But there was some good talks going on then, and it's going to lead to some exciting things to be happening at the 13-year anniversary show. That's pretty much all I can give you, Dave, because otherwise you're making my Twitter redundant, and I love my Twitter. And yeah,
I just want scoop after scoop. That's all I want. Yeah, all I want as a broadcast journalist. But anyway, Andy, thank you as always for your time. Let's we'll go and cool down a little bit, but we'll see all of you guys 12 days from now. Summer Sizzler, July 25th in the Hangar at Wolverhampton.
Can I just wrap up some more business? Is that okay?
Oh, you want to be okay?
I just want to say thank you to the fans, because obviously last week we sat here and we spoke about the crazy news that we'd be losing our monthly home in London of a 229, which for me was just it was a huge hit. And, you know where we were then, and I was in a different country and I didn't know if I could sort it out, and I managed to turn it around in a week, and it was just some of the most stressful times, because I think I don't want to say we live and die, but like, one of the most important things about Revolution Pro Wrestling is our consistency. You see the previously on Rev Pro, which comes at the start of all our events now. You see the Rev Pro recaps, which you so adequately put together. You know,
adequately. Thanks, mate.
Sorry, mate. You do a hell of a job, Dave.
Thanks, mate.
You do a hell of a job.
Appreciate it.
And the people love it.
Yeah.
So, but you can see, I feel like, a lot of the time people didn't appreciate, in terms of Revolution Pro Wrestling, I've heard us called many things like champagne wrestling. There's nothing wrong with a bit of champagne, by the way.
A little bit of the bubbly.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. I've seen people say that, Rev Pro's just about dream matches and, you know, many different things levied at us. And look, you can be excused at looking at a Rev Pro lineup and saying, wow, this lineup's just filled with dream matches, but there's so much more substance behind that. And I think a big part of that is being able to deliver consistently and to have regular homes. And I think a huge part of that is obviously that monthly London base where, you know, the stories we get to see tick over from one month to the next. And obviously it's great that we're able to fill in between with great venues like here in Coventry, etc. But London has been a beating heart of Rev Pro for a long time now. And it felt like, you know, with less shows that you will call, and it was just like, what's going on here? Are we going to become a northern-based promotion? And is good because we've been able to find that home and the people have supported it. I think people are excited about Porchester Hall. Obviously it's a great venue and it's given us an opportunity to up production levels, to try and get more people in the building, and to just take it to the next level, to continue to grow. So it'll either be the making of us or the breaking of us. I hope with everyone's support we'll be the making of us. And yeah, I just want to thank everyone for their understanding so far. So yeah, I just wanted to throw that one out there because it was quite a big bit of news last week. And yeah, there we are. You can wrap it up.
Right.
You can wrap it up and go and do your Rev Pro recap.
Let's pretend we didn't do the sign off before. We'll do it again now. Andy, thanks so much for your time as always. Whatever I said before about going to cool down, I've been Dave Bradshaw. We'll see you 12 days from now. Summer Sizzler in Wolverhampton.